Okay, there you go. Far away.
Thanks. Okay, and welcome back to the Lexi and Jai Show, a show where we speak for 30 minutes about all things 90s pop supergroup, the Spice Girls. What?
Well, it's like every podcast we start is just me laughing.
Because you don't know what I'm going to say?
Yeah. I'm like, okay, yeah. Welcome, everybody.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Yeah, who's your favourite Spice Girl?
You know, actually.
Mm.
I used to pretend to be, it would either be Posh Spice or Sporty Spice.
Really?
Yeah. I used to dress up as Sporty Spice quite a bit, though.
Okay, yeah, me too.
When I was a kid, yeah.
Yeah.
I put on a show for my class. I organised with the teacher that I was going to do a Spice Girls production, and I made my friends dress up, and I choreographed the whole thing.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, and got everybody in the afternoon to watch the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently we did pretty good.
So we're going to be show today. I want to talk to you
Yes.
first about something that's been on my mind.
Mm-hmm.
So the short version is, are dinosaurs real, or were they real?
Ooh.
So the reason that I ask is I've heard that when they find dinosaur bones or whatever, they have to ship them off somewhere and you don't ever see them again, and everything that you see in museums aren't the real thing.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I don't know whether it's real, but that's what I heard.
I've never heard that.
And I don't understand why dinosaurs, like the T-Rex, for example,
Yeah.
would have such a... There's
Thanks.
one. I think
Thanks,
I see
Jay.
one. Has got such big legs, big body and stuff, and these tiny little weird
Yes.
arms.
And how they say that their what is it? The chicken is the
Descendants
evolved
of a dinosaur. Yeah.
evolved version of a T-Rex.
Yeah. So maybe,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll need you to confirm this because I assume that you know
Okay.
everything being Oracle. But maybe they are all dragons,
Oh.
and because they're little arms, it's actually just the top of the wings, and there's no wings because it would have all decayed. Maybe.
Possibly. Yeah. I like the theory.
Right.
Mainly just because obviously I love dragons. So yes.
So effectively, dinosaurs aren't real. I could be way off. I've just been thinking about this for a few days.
I'm pretty sure there might be a lot of paleontologists that may disagree.
Yeah, probably.
They're like that. We've studied. There's a whole profession on it.
Yeah.
They find out they've just been uncovering. I don't even know.
Dragon bones.
Yeah. Actually there was something that I saw on TikTok.
Yeah.
About that there was a potential that they could be actually be dinosaurs because of the porous. They're saying that if they have wings and everything, it's that would be porous. So that could make sense.
Yeah.
Do you mean really dragons or really?
Huh?
Do you mean really dragons? Because you said they could really be dinosaurs.
Oh.
Pretty sure they really was dinosaurs.
They could really be dragons. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. I knew what you meant. In fact, I probably should have pulled you up. But I don't know whether all the listeners were.
I'm glad the listeners were probably just correcting me. They're like, this idiot.
You're okay, listeners. I've got your back.
What other podcasts are on?
Yeah. Sorry, everyone. Insert sentence structure. It's interesting. I don't know. What I find interesting is the is everything on okay?
Did you not hear that?
Experience an earthquake or?
No, I don't think it was an earthquake.
What was it?
I think it's just construction next door.
Oh, probably just a hammer drill.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, sorry everyone. Anyway, as I was saying, I really feel one thing that doesn't ever sit well with me is when, in Jurassic Park or things like that, and people, even before Shane, made a noise and it's oh, it's a dinosaur noise. I'm like,
yeah.
How?
How do you know what dinosaurs
How do you even know? How do you even know? You don't know what noises they made.
Yeah.
they're probably like, hi.
Yeah. A full-on vocabulary.
Yeah.
Greetings.
I don't know. I mean, if they were dragons,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, like dragons on their elemental realms, like, and my dragon Celine, she talks to me.
Yeah.
She talks to me just fine. Her voice box works. yeah. Yeah, like it just.
Yeah.
I don't know. That has never sat well with me.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just like don't. And it's true. Like, how do they know that that's what actually goes together?
Yeah.
Like, how do they know that that's what the skeleton was meant to look like? Aren't they just kind of going, there's some puzzle pieces here, maybe? Like,
well, it depends.
See how they go
like
together?
if one dinosaur was ripped to shreds by another one, then there'd be bones all over it, and you got to try and connect it like a puzzle piece. But
Yeah.
if it just went and dropped dead, all the bones would be in pretty much the same.
Yeah, well, I suppose.
Didn't they actually find some like woolly mammoths and stuff frozen in the ice age? And
Yeah.
that was like,
Yeah, they have. So, woolly mammoths are definitely real.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
oh, the universe has been around for billions of years. Planet Earth's been like supporting
Yeah.
life for millions.
Yeah.
We've been around for like basically none of that. And yet, in our infinite wisdom, we're like, yeah, I don't think so, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I was just saying, like, they can't, obviously, like, yeah, in my opinion, yes, dinosaurs did exist. But I do think that there's specific species of dinosaurs that were actually dragons, and they've stuffed it up.
Yeah. Okay.
Realistically, wouldn't these dragons and dinosaurs and stuff, wouldn't they have invented an infinite internet that they could have created, and then that's what we'd be using today, and we'd be able to just check into the dinosaur like archives and
Well, that's
figure
called,
out, we'd be able to look at the pictures of them because they would have.
that's called the Akashic Records. It's the collective consciousness Akashic Records.
Well, it doesn't seem. Well, that's see.
So that's
there you
what
go.
they-
That's
that's
how
what
we
they-
know. That's how we know that
Yeah.
they're there. Why are we even having this argument?
That's a, no, it's not an argument.
Well, I'm just. Wow.
I know, I'm like, Shane's coming in hot today.
Shane's turned into Fight Club.
No, I'm just trying to break this down for the listeners. You guys,
Oh.
you guys are talking in some other language.
That's true.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would like to think that our listeners would pick up on the language and roll with us.
More about the energy and less what we actually talk about.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, but that's where like dragons and all that kind of stuff, like they do exist, and yeah, but I think it's just hard because you've got all through Europe, Asia, like, you know, all of those countries that didn't, you know, like, oh, what, it takes you like 8 months to sail across to somewhere, like,
Yeah.
they didn't have the communication.
Continents, by
Yeah.
the way.
No, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Sorry, everyone.
Hey,
I'm having a rough week with my timeline.
Yeah, well, this topic's a bit of a train wreck, so let's move on to another one.
No, but I was just saying that in terms of those continents, like all of them have depicted dragons, like all around the same time.
I find that so cool.
You know what I mean? So that's my point. That like.
But how many of them had depicted dinosaurs? None. Just a couple of paleontologists out for a walk, stumbling across some bones. Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna call this Velociraptor.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm still really interested to
cool
know how
sounding
they
name.
came up with that name.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because it does sound pretty good.
Yeah.
Sorry, continue.
Can I tell you about... Oh, actually, I'll tell you about something else first. So, in Western Australia, in a place called Exmouth.
Yes.
And I don't know if you know about this.
Yes.
You already know this?
No, I know about Exmouth though.
Oh.
I know where Exmouth is.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, it's a mining town.
Yeah, well, I didn't. So, buried underground is copper wire, right?
Copper wire.
Yeah, I don't know how far down, but it's in the exact shape of Metatron's cube.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yes. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I have to look at it. Can I Google it?
Sure.
I want to see. Can you see it? That's crazy.
I don't think you can see it because it's underground. But
No, they picked it up somehow. How else did they see it then?
I don't know. No, it's sonar. I don't
Did they access it? Did they access the Akashic Records as well?
know. Yeah.
That's crazy. Copper wire. Metatron.
Yeah.
That is mental.
So I wasn't sure whether you actually knew about that.
No, I did not.
What that was about. I just find it so interesting.
Wow. That's so weird.
I'll send you the video.
It's cool.
Yeah. Oh, hey. Well, I
Sorry.
think about
Yes. Sorry, everyone. Everyone. Oh, I'm not talking English properly.
Don't worry. It's only live. So, I haven't told you about this, right? But the other day I was watching a Cowboys game.
Classic Joe.
Surprise.
And it was at halftime. It was 26-10 to
The other
God,
team.
who'd they even play?
The other team.
God, I'm not a very good Cowboys supporter. The other team.
No,
right?
you just knew about your team.
Manly, of course.
Oh, classic. Yeah.
Anyway, so and down 26-10, we were getting flogged. This is at Brookvale at Manly, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I hear this voice going, "It's okay, it's going to be 28-26." I'm like, what? yeah, that's pretty impossible. It's like at that stage, it was like 30 minutes to go or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, it got to 28-26 with a conversion to come with like 2 minutes to go, or 1 minute to go, or something like that. And I'm like, he's not going to kick that because then it wouldn't be 28-26.
Yeah.
And we scored, like we won that game 28-26. I'm like, what? I'm like, Kelly, come check this out.
Yeah.
And anyway, so the next game was Broncos, right?
Yep.
They played South and it was 16-all at half time. I said, I'll see if I can do it again, Kelly.
Yeah.
And I said, 32-16.
Yeah.
It got to 32-16, right?
Oh,
with
really?
like 2 minutes to go, and I'm like, man, thinking about all these things, like, am I going to go rip off casinos and stuff, man? I'm like, am I going to be the new sports bet? Is this my thing?
Yeah, it's just like...
Yeah, all these ways I can make money, and then Broncos scored again with a minute to
I
go.
was going to say, the universe is like, no, he's gotten a bit out of control now.
Instantly out of control. Gave me a little inch, and I just took the whole lot.
Yeah, you're like, I can win. I can go to the casino.
That's right. Instantly
That is so cool, though.
monetizing.
I love that stuff. I love when you just... There's been times where like I've gone to, whether it's been competitions or raffles, and I've just gone up and they go to give me a ticket. I'm like, oh, I'll have this ticket. This is gonna win. And they'd have like 10 prizes, and I'd tell them exactly the prize I was gonna win, and they're like, yeah, good luck, like, you know, because they have heaps of people go, oh, it's a winning ticket. I'm like, no, literally. And I did that. I used to go with friends, like it was like every Friday. We just go down to like the Anamoga, like where it was the banana vendor or whatever, and they'd have this whole raffle thing. Yeah, I did it so many Friday nights in a row that I'd walk in there and they'd just be like, what ticket do you want? I'm like, oh, nah, not this time. Yeah,
just let other people win now.
Yeah, let other people win. Yeah, I won like fruit trays, like I think it was like some kind of dining thing, and like it was just a whole bunch of just prizes that I'd be like, that's what I'm winning.
Do you know on the radio they call them prize pigs? So they've just got this innate ability to just ring up for every competition and just win it.
And just know, yeah.
So they'll recognise the number and they'll just cut them off.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I just, well, I didn't get cut off by... banana mentor people, but I don't know if I've told you this story about when I was little with a stereo.
No.
Okay, so this is like one of my best all-time stories.
Oh, okay. Saving it for episode 14 or whatever.
Saving...
17.
It was
17.
Yeah, well, it hasn't come up. It hasn't come up until now. So when I think I was like 7 years old, and they were doing like one of those telethon things, and they're like, oh, you know, you've got to, I think it was like get people to buy chocolates or something like that, and you write down their names, and I don't know. Anyway, I didn't have many people. A lot of my family were scungy. No.
They're probably not
7-year-old
okay.
Didn't know a whole lot of people at that point in time.
Okay.
But anyway, so what happened was, I think I had something like, I don't know, 56. Like other kids had like hundreds, right? Anyway, I kept telling the other kids in the class that I'm like, I've won the stereo, so like there's no point in you doing
Yeah.
to the point my mum had to pull me aside because my teacher, Miss He, like spoke to my mum and just said, look, she's upsetting.
Yeah, of course.
She's upsetting the other kids
Yeah.
because she's telling them that they've lost already. Anyway.
Imagine having a confident little kid like you as a friend. Oh my God.
I'm
Don't
just
even
like-
try, guys.
Yeah, I'm like, you've lost. Like, you know, and they're like, oh no, it's like mum and dad said, like, you know, and yeah, I remember the conversation. I actually remember having the conversations with them. Anyway, mum's just like, look, Lexi, you feel like you're gonna, and I'm like, no, but mum, it's mine. And mum's like, Lexi, even if you feel like it's yours, you can't tell other kids that they've lost. And I'm
That's
like,
right.
okay. I was like, you're upsetting them. All right then. So I stopped. On the day of the announcement, my teacher said to my mum, she's like, part of me almost hopes that she wins because I'm just like, if she doesn't, she's going to be devastated. The whole way to school, I kept saying to mum, I'm like, what am I going to do to get the stereo to the car? And mum's like, Lexi, you haven't even won yet. Like, just, you know, mum's like, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Because it was a massive stereo. Like, back then, they, like, had massive, you know, it was massive.
Yeah.
And I was 7. I'm like, I can't carry that. And I said to mum, I'm like, no. I'm like, oh my God. I was like, what is so frustrating with you parents? Like, you know, I'm like, could you just listen to me? I've told you I've won. Can you just tell, I'm like, are you going to be up there to help me carry it back down? Because I can't carry it myself. And mum's like, Lexi, it will be fine. I was fully stressing out about it. Hey,
Yeah.
got to the day before they even called my name, I stood up.
Oh no. You're that person.
I stood up and the teacher was just like, oh my God, like Lexi. And they're like, Lexi Davis. I'm like I was already like, I'm like, it's mine. Everyone in the class, my teacher was just like, I cannot believe. And I kept saying to mum, I'm like, and straight away I turned to my teacher and I was like, this is why I told mum to be here to help me carry it back. And I can't even, and she's like, it's fine, Lexi. I'm like, no one listens to me.
Oh my God.
That is like one of my favorite stories because
Yeah.
it's like still to this day, my mum will still tell that story. She's just like, you were so like,
Adamant.
yeah. I'm like, no, it doesn't matter what you guys say.
Yeah.
I've won that. And I've done it so many times. Like there'll be things and I'm like, nah, that's mine. And people like, they get kind of a little bit like, whoa. I'm like, no, like I'm not being sad to you.
Because
it's
they
just like,
then don't buy tickets because you're like, this is mine.
That's what like one of my teachers said to my mum after it. She goes, I cannot believe it. She's like, because Lexi had Lexi had the lowest number of tickets in the whole school. It wasn't just my grade, it was the whole entire school. There was like, I don't know, 800, 900 kids there.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's mine.
Oh,
Stood
thank
up
God.
before they called my name.
Interesting that they believed you though.
Hey.
Interesting that they believed you enough to not buy tickets then.
I wish.
Well, if they had the lowest amount of tickets.
I had the lowest amount.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
No, I had the lowest amount. There were kids there that some kids had like 500 tickets in.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
To win a Stezza.
Yeah, and I had like 56. I'm like, yeah. So you only need one to win it. That's all you got to remember.
So, just to switch gears,
Mm-hmm.
been a lot of changes of late,
Mm-hmm.
energetically.
Changes.
Yeah. So, what I want to ask you is what's been happening with you, timeline-wise?
Oh my God, okay. So, look, listeners, I've been having, you can probably even hear it in this podcast as well, I've been having hectic deja vu, like full, I don't know how else to explain this, but I'm like having, it's different from getting vision, when I get visions when I'm channeling. It's like I'm having 2 scenes play out concurrently in front of me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it feels like my head's, I don't even know how to explain it, but it feels like I'm in like multiple timelines at the same time, experiencing multiple things. So
Which you are, but you're not supposed to feel them
aware,
all.
it's actually, I feel like it's too hard for me to comprehend like what's actually happening, and it's massively like in all seriousness, it's throwing me out because I'm like, I'll be having conversations with clients. I even did this. I did this morning with you. It does, like clients, Shane, like my family, like so many people. and I'm like, am I losing my mind?
Yeah.
Like, because I'm like, no, I see the vision. I'm like, no, we've had this conversation. Like, I know it.
Yeah.
And then they go, no. And I'm like, I haven't had that as well. I haven't had that conversation and I know it. I'm like, oh my God. It's like, it's mental.
Okay. So in those
I'm
multiple
going insane.
timelines that you
Yeah.
experience simultaneously,
Yeah.
are they vastly different circumstances? Like, are you talking to Shane in one and you're on the toilet in another one and you're riding in a camel?
Some of them, yeah. The ones that are really throwing me are the ones that are so similar.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what's actually making me. I was like, is the universe gaslighting me? Like,
Yeah.
like what's happening? But they're the ones that I will have. There's only been see, I just did it again. Oh my God. There's been 3 instances where I've been like sitting talking to a client and then feeling like I'm on a plane heading to Japan. Like,
Oh, wow.
like I've had that happen. That's been one of the bigger ones. One of the other ones has been like, yeah, I've been driving or I've been talking. But yeah, the ones that are really similar, they're the ones that are actually throwing me.
So they say that to ground yourself in a timeline, you have to like imagine yourself feeling like things around you.
Yeah.
So in that scenario when you were on the plane
Yeah.
to Japan,
Yeah.
why didn't you try just like feeling like the chair and stuff like that and then just anchoring yourself into that timeline? Next thing you know, you're going skiing.
Bye, Shane. Yeah.
Oh, he was probably there too. But
He probably was. I wasn't. I didn't. He would have been. I wouldn't have had an awareness around it. That's a good idea. I'll actually try that because it's.
So if Lexi doesn't show
crazy.
up for this next podcast, you'll know why. She's off skiing in
like,
Japan.
oh my God! It's honestly it's throwing me. It's more just my head. I can't wrap it, or I can't wrap my head around it.
Yeah.
Because things are happening simultaneously, and I have awareness of those things happening simultaneously, and it's making me feel like I'm crazy.
Yeah.
Because then I'm like, I don't actually know what's real, which then comes down to, you know, when like DMT and all that kind of stuff, where I'm like, oh, it's not. So I'm sitting here, I'm like, none of this is real, but it's like that scenario, none of this is real. So then I'm like, what the fuck is real?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
Which probably happens a lot in dreams as well, because you know how you dream and then you can flip to a completely different scenario.
Yes.
Yeah, that's probably how you're probably dreaming in this reality that it's changing right now as well.
Yeah.
Like this is just as real as your dreams.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's a processing for me. I think I need marinating time. But how you been going with the changes?
No, fine. No.
Yeah.
So
you're like not as crazy as you.
Yeah, you tripper. So a couple of nights ago, I've already told you this, so I'm surprised.
Oh, okay. I probably have forgotten.
Okay.
Probably told me on another time.
Yeah, that's right. While I think of it, just before I go into mine, does those timeline shifts and stuff happen when you're like driving or when you're
I've had one
heavy machinery?
I've had when I'm in my digger.
Yeah.
I've had it once when I've been driving.
Yeah, okay.
It's in like to the point where it also seems like I've lost time.
Yeah.
No, sorry, like gained. Yeah, I've gained time somehow. It's really weird.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, like I was there 10 minutes, and then it's like the same time, and I'm there 10 minutes, and I'm like, I don't understand what's happened.
So in that timeline, you're gone for 10 minutes, like, or what feels like 10 minutes to you, like a long time.
Yeah. No, well, it's
so when
weird.
you get back to this timeline when you're driving, do you feel like super, like unsafe?
Oh,
like,
I feel like so what's the word? Like
how did I get here?
Disassociate. Yeah, I'm like, what?
So
and
it's,
so then
it's just
I'm
like
grabbing a
daydreaming,
reel and
except that in your daydream it's like real.
No, but the weird part is that like I'm still aware that I'm driving.
Yeah, okay. So you're protected
happening.
the whole time. Yeah.
So like I'm still driving, and I'm experiencing. This is the weird part. I'm experiencing while I'm driving, and I'm experiencing like walking, like just walking down the driveway. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like both things happening at the same time.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I'm like aware of both of them. I'm not switching from one to the other.
Right.
I used to, like, when I've done like that jumping that I've spoken about before, where I've like, it feels like I just jump and then I'm like, I'm somewhere else and then I switch back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's like split. So it's like split realities that I'm, yeah.
So maybe don't do that anchoring yourself in whilst you're driving.
Yeah, I'm like, or it'd just be like a quantum immortality moment where I was like, well, she started that timeline, off she goes to the next.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
So what's been happening with me, so a couple of nights ago, lying in bed, I started having shutter vision, and that shutter vision only happens, as I said to you the other day, when I'm super high, energetically, not like Snoop Dogg high. But yeah, super high, and I'm like, oh, what's going on here? And then had this huge ringing in my right ear, like real loud, and you couldn't avoid it. I'm like, okay, something's up. And then I closed my eyes and had this big bright flash of white light which just consumed me. I'm like, okay, I'm probably dying.
You're like, oh, this is the tunnel.
Nana? So and then I felt this pinprick in my foot, right, which I felt before.
Yes, I do remember you telling me this.
Yeah, remember that was
yes,
so
I do.
First time that happened, that was pretty messed up.
Yeah.
But this time, I'm like, yeah, okay, I actually feel okay with it. I'm not.
Yeah.
Not
it's alright to be violated.
It's alright to be violated.
By light beings.
As long as it's through the foot.
Yeah.
But yeah, it felt okay. I didn't have that sort of heavy denseness sort of feeling to it. And then asked you the next morning, like, what the hell was that all about? And you tuned in, and it was Acturians again.
Yes.
And then I felt really like insanely good the next morning, right?
Yeah.
And then did a healing on somebody. And for anyone who hasn't had healings with me, I start with my hands on people's ankles, channeling energy up them, and out top of their head, and looking at the top of their head. There was literally an Acturian being sitting there on the other side of the client, just like, hey.
He's like, hey.
Yeah.
Thought I'd drop in.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and then I'm like, yeah, this is pretty cool, because it felt cool.
Yeah.
And then I sat in that chair where that Acturian must have been sitting, and I just felt myself merge with this Acturian. I don't know if I told you this part.
No.
But yeah, I felt myself.
I'm riveted.
Yeah, right. And the moment I did, and had my hands on the client's crown.
Oh yeah,
Just crown. And she felt herself. I felt her lift off. She felt herself lift off.
The levitate.
Like gone, yeah, like literally gone, and she could see the same Acturian being. Without, I never said anything. She's like, well, "What's that?"
She's like, who's here?
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
No, you didn't tell me that.
Yeah, that's it. Yep. And then it happened in the next one. It's happened in every healing that I've had since then. Now that same Acturian being is there, just hanging out at the head.
That reminds me, actually, I have to have another healing with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Monday.
Yeah. Well,
lock it in.
Get your people to talk to my people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shane, can you organise that for me?
Yeah. Anyway, so I thought that was pretty
cool. Yeah, it's have you had like in terms of people joining you in your healings?
Yeah.
Like
all the time.
Yeah. It do you think
mainly because I call them in though.
Oh, it's okay. I was gonna say like, but when they just like pop up, like the Acturian, like that's cool. Yeah. Have you had other ones just pop in?
No.
Like without being summoned.
I haven't had like when you're talking about guides and angels and stuff that I normally work with, and Acturians and stuff. Yeah. They pop in because I set the intention.
Yeah.
But no one else other than dead relatives
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they normally don't come in to actually like give messages or whatever. They just
no,
come,
that makes sense.
they just come and poke their head in
Yeah,
and
for
go,
healing.
what's he doing?
Yeah, yeah.
So
They usually like come in and it's just like their presence is just there to help with the healing or
Yeah.
help with the release. Yeah.
yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I
so
like that.
so quite often they'll like hold their hand or put their hand on their solar plexus or something like that.
Yeah.
And, yeah, that's pretty cool and comforting. I enjoy that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
It's a weird world, isn't it?
it is definitely a weird world. We're gonna we just got a little signal. No.
You're not meant to say it. When the signal
Oh.
happens, you're not meant to say it.
All right, sorry guys. We didn't get a
Wow.
signal.
No, Shane was just dancing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But in something unrelated, we've got to go.
Yeah, I really, I really do apologize for this. Oh my gosh, this episode
Yeah.
for people.
Anyway,
I swear
nothing to apologise about. It's been fun.
I'll do better next time with my sentences.
All right.
All right.
Bye, guys. Love you.
Love you. Bye. Oh fuck. I'm